Coming to the Riverfront on Friday, the 18th November, it's Mark Thomas on his Black and White UK tour. Mark, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
It is just brilliant to talk to you because my first memory of you is from the Mark Thomas comedy product on Channel 4, when it was the comedy product as well. And I remember watching you thinking, wow, I'm scared of this guy, but I also think I like what he's saying.
Well, that's quite odd.
Okay.
That's got a Nick Cage vibe to it.
Right. Okay. I have never been that cool before, so I'm taking that off you. What are you about? What is your thing? Because you've done so much.
My thing is I get bored easily. So I want to do as many different things as possible. I love performing. I really, the show is all about, at the moment, it's all about all those things we couldn't do in lockdown. You know, it's all about those things that we were denied being, away from other people. So getting together, mucking about, taking the mick, playing, being disrespectful, singing, all that kind of like chaos, creative chaos that gets together when human beings gather. And that's the stuff I love. I love being on stage. I feel most comfortable being on stage. I feel most myself being on stage. You can say what you like, you can do what you like. I adore it. And so for me, you say, what are you about? It's just about actually what I like doing is as many different things as possible, and I will not be pushed around, and that's it.
How'd you get away with it in this media world? Because things have changed since that Channel 4 show that I remember you being on. How does an act like yours survive?
Sheer ingenuity, I think. Sheer ingenuity, innate ability, God-given talent. I have no idea. All I know is that I've managed to do it for 37 years and still keep a roof over my head. So I'm kind of ahead of the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The big influences for me, comedically, were people like Dave Allen, people like that, who were just absolutely, he was incredibly subversive. He used to tell, I always remember this brilliant gag he did when he, in front of an LWT audience, and he stood there and said, I tell Irish jokes, I get into trouble for telling Irish jokes. But I'll tell Irish jokes. You've got to be able to laugh at yourself. The audience laugh. He goes, you've got to be able to laugh at yourself. This is a London audience. You've got to be able to laugh at yourself. The audience laugh. If you can't laugh at yourself, what's the point? The audience clap. He goes, I'll tell Irish jokes. Big cheer. 2 paddies leave Dublin, go to work in London. The IQ of Dublin halves overnight. Big cheer. You've got to be able to laugh at yourself. Big clap. So they get to London, the IQ doubles. Silence. He turns round to them and just goes, no, I thought we'd agreed. And it was catching their bigotry completely square on the jaw. So I love people like him.
Yeah.
I loved punk rock. I loved, the ethos of punk rock, bands like Crass and people like that. I loved Bertolt Brecht and experimental theatre. So when you put all of that together, you sort of get me. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is. It's sort of comedy, punk rock, and a bit of Bertolt Brecht.
Try and distill that into the show that you're going to bring to Newport. What can we expect?
Well, sort of play and mayhem. That's what it, and also no Tories. Just no. I don't think there are that many Tories in Newport. But if you are and you're tempted to come, don't. It's not for you. It's not for you.
You're not looking to bridge divides, then?
Yeah, I'm looking to bridge divides. It's just that all the divides I'm looking are just to the left of the Tory party, which is massive. The amount of room over here is huge. It's everyone else. You heard Liz Truss talk about the anti-growth coalition of trade unionists and Labour and Liberals and talking heads and people in Islington and the list went on for ages. And it was kind of like, well, that's all of us, Liz. That's all of us, apart from you and your Tufton Street mate.
How do you cover this in the show?
I talk about it. I talk about how nuts they are. I talk about how bloody stupid they are. You can't decide that what you're going to do is unfunded tax cuts by getting the poor to pay for it and saying that working class people should pay for this. By basically increasing public borrowing, which is us, and we have to pay for it. You're going to have and say, "Oh, we're not going to have cuts," but you're going to have cuts. And you've just created this massive mess. Kwasi Kwarteng, not even to show his homework, say how we're going to do it. Madness. This idea that the rich somehow are going to turn around and go, "Oh, well, we've got a lot richer because of tax cuts, so we'll now give the money to the poor." When did that start happening? I missed that meeting. When did that go on?
Does this happen in the show then? Do you open a discussion, or have you got material
No,
you're
get
just
up
going to
and
lay
tell
it in front of
jokes.
them? There's going to be more material for you right now than there ever has been.
No.
No.
No, there's always been material. It's just never, whatever government's in, whatever, group is in power, whatever prevalent ideology it is, it's always against the interests of working class people. So you just think, well, I'll always have material. I'll always be all right, thanks. People will always be stupid, and I'll always be just sort of one notch above stupid to be able to criticise them. And then I'll come off stage and I'll be stupid.
On the write-up, it says you could be mucking about finding new ideas. That was pretty vague. So have you got an example of what the mucking about the new ideas bit looks like?
What I love is improvising and playing, because I've done quite a lot of plays that I've written, and they're really, and they're great fun to do, and I really love them. But you do have to learn a script. And all the directors I've ever worked with have always just gone, but where's the script? And I said, it'll come out as we practice it. I've always developed the script as we go along. And I love that. I love the fact that, you just make it up. That's what it is. It's just making it up.
You've done a bit of Radio 4, I believe, in your time. And my understanding is quite scripted there, isn't it?
Fortunately, when I did a Radio 4 show on, I did one called The Manifesto, where we would get people to come up with ideas to change the world. They'd write them on a bit of paper, hand them in. I'd go through them and we'd discuss them with the audience. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant fun to do, and then we'd vote at the end of it on our favourites. And it was madness. It was, the show was always improvised. It was always playful. It was always, and we got some great ideas. Cardiff, their manifesto policy was that anyone found guilty of a homophobic hate crime should be forced to serve their entire sentence in drag.
I thought you were going to say Newport there. There's a bit of rivalry.
Is there a Newport Cardiff rivalry?
A little bit, yeah. We like them here at Newport City Radio. We're quite fond of Cardiff people and everybody, really. But,
now, Newport, you're in the EFL, aren't you?
We are, yes, League Two. We've got the official podcast of Newport County, we're very proud to say.
Can I just say that I will be coming to see you, because I'm an AFC Wimbledon fan, so I will be coming to see you at some point this season. The thing about this is community. It's the community that's more important than the football. Well, it's as important as the football. Do you know what I mean? And AFC Wimbledon last season won Community Club of the Year, which I'm really, really proud of. The work that the club do in terms of, or the Dons Trust do, in terms of like outreach, in terms of food banks, in terms of pensioners and, getting people playing sport and getting disabilities involved and all that kind of stuff that brings the community, that is about the community, not just bringing the community in, but supporting the community is so exciting and so really amazing. And I'm cross with myself as well, because I've just mentioned food banks as if it was normal, and it's not. It's not normal.
It's not a normal situation, but we have to help and we have to support people. And Newport County is the same. They're a fan-owned club.
I love you so much, because fan-owned clubs is the way to go.
Yeah.
There are 48 fan-owned clubs in the English football pyramid, rather the pyramid rather than the league. 48.
Yeah.
Right, you go down to somewhere like, and I love this. Oh, I'm so glad. I didn't know Newport was fan-owned. That's brilliant. When did that happen? Tell me about it.
Oh, right. So historically, there was Newport County Football Club that sadly went under, and then slowly from the embers of that, over quite an annoying period of time of my young years, there wasn't any football club in Newport. They were exiled to play in Moulton Marsh, which is Bristol way, and they finally slowly found their way back. Again, deciding to go for the EFL route rather than the Welsh League. And it's kind of been going around, hovering through. I think it was probably the last... I'm going to get the date wrong, so I'm not going to put a date on it. But in recent times, it was just decided that the fan-owned model was the way to go. And I know lots of evidence has been given to the Commons Select Committee that have been looking into football and been really paring that ahead.
I went to see Clapton Community Football Club, which is down in the 11th tier, right? They're 3 years old. They've got 2,000 members. They get regularly 500 people to a match, which is, for an 11th tier, which is dog and the trainer. That's normally what you get for the people who come and see your match. And I went to, it was just great. They've got big banners up with always anti-fascist. They've got sort of trans anti-fascist ultras banging drums and letting off flares and all of that kind of malarkey. And it's an amazing community atmosphere there. All the local sort of like shops are doing all the food and stuff. It's really exciting. There's all the kids are running on the pitch and changing the score. The players come and sing with the fans, at the end of it all. And it's brilliant. It's absolutely, and the fans always clap and cheer the away team right at the end. I love that. Yeah. I think that's absolutely brilliant.
The sing-song bit, obviously we're Welsh, we like a good sing-along. Must warn you about Newport, people were quite reserved compared to some others, so you might have to find a way to wake us up a little bit.
I will get people singing. I will get people singing. I'm going to set you a challenge. Are you ready for your challenge?
Oh, here we go. Go on. I'm supposed to have this job here, Mark. I'm supposed to be...
No, I'm supposed to have decided that actually what we need to do is have, instead of national anthems, we need to have town and city anthems.
Yes.
So Brighton is, I do like to live beside the seaside, or I do like to be beside the seaside, which is, a great song. Winchester is Winchester Cathedral, which is a novelty single from the 60s. It's the only song I can find that isn't a folk song. Yeah. Maybe I should have gone for folk songs.
Well, I got two options that spring to mind. One that is really on target, bang on with our playlist and what we do at Newport City Radio. Kaiser Chiefs, I Predict a Riot, because of the Chartist history that we've got.
Lovely.
Or if you want to really go more on the softer side and the more playful side of it, Newport is actually Newport. They've named it twice. So they're obviously...
Newport State of Mind.
Newport State... Well, but yeah, we did have that. That was done. And obviously, GLC and I think your Mothbrith did that.
We should have Roller Disco.
Roller Disco would be good.
The roller disco, that would be a great anthem.
Well, again, we used to have a great roller disco in Newport, but that went back in the 80s, maybe like early 90s. I remember popping my boots on myself at being a young lad. That's how you got to meet your future partners, was skating around this roller skating rink. We'll work on that for you.
There is a Chartist anthem as well, which Chumbawamba revived, as they would do.
Yeah, of course.
Which is 100 years, 1,000 years, we'll be marching down this road. The going isn't easy, now it is a heavy load. Oh, it is a heavy load. You man of soil, you shunk and shank. I've forgotten the bits. But anyway, that's how it goes.
That's brilliant. Back to the show.
So we might get people singing that.
So we're still on track. That's good. That's great. At the end, kind of the last line on the nice press release that you guys have kindly said over says that you're looking to find hope. And in these crazy days that we live in, where is the hope to be found, do you think?
Trade unions, communities. Those are the two places that fight back. They're the two places that are always have to work. If there are any trade union members who are coming to the gig, and you're involved in a strike, come up and see me at the interval. We'll have a chat. If there's any community groups or any people involved in community groups, whether it's food banks, whether it's keeping pensioners warm, whether it is whatever it is, whether it's a community pub, whether it's community theatre, come and see me in the interval. We'll have a chat. That's where the stuff lies. That's where the important stuff is.
Well, I would agree with you, because this is community radio.
Well, there you go.
So pushing on an open door there. This is just amazing. So we can't wait to see you. First time in Newport playing, or have you been?
No, I've been to Newport before, ages ago.
Yeah.
I've played a lot around Wales, and somebody will go, I saw you in so-and-so. And I said, oh, where was that? They said, that was the Bikers pub somewhere. I was like, oh, yeah, no, I did play there.
We can't wait to see you, and thank you for spending time with us today and hanging out with us. I didn't expect that to go into football.
It's an absolute pleasure. And thank you for telling me about your footy club. Thank you. If you're coming up to the Dons game, come round for a cuppa. You'd be very welcome.
Right, that sounds absolutely my lane, that does. A nice cup of tea. Yep.
I'm literally 9 minutes from the ground.
Okay, I am going to keep an eye for that fixture. More importantly, we will see you on Friday the 18th of November, right at the Riverfront. Mark Thomas, thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure.